gentlemen, welcome to 371. I am your host, Keith Andrew. Along here is the talented and beautiful Meggie Jenny. And I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Thanks for having me.
Now, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities. That you should never give up, and you should prove to people you can still amount to something. But labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be, and you should prove to them you can break the label. So hashtag break the label. So that being said, half hour, 35 minutes every time, 40 maximum. But you have as much time as you like. And starting off, what can you tell us about yourself?
My name's Meggie Jenny. I am a mother of two and a wife, and I'm an actress, and I run a children's ministry at church, and I have a learning disability. I'm dyslexic. And so, it's one of those things you just learn to live with and adapt to. So, yeah.
No, absolutely. And like I said, the whole part of my show is to support a good cause, and you're making a new friend out of it.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to ask you some easy questions and then some hard-hitting ones. Then we're going to take a commercial break. Then I'm going to pass the show over to you, and you can ask me anything you like.
Okay.
But you ask you the easy ones first. Is when you were in high school and college, well, especially high school, did you do any sports? And
I did. I actually played basketball just my freshman year because the varsity coach was one of those that thought, well, if you weren't bleeding at the end of practice, you didn't try hard enough. I'm like, bro, it's practice. Like, why do I need to bleed? So, yeah, I didn't exactly continue in basketball, no. But I did play basketball my freshman year. But then I joined Web City Singers, which is actually, it's a show choir. So, it's the dancing and the singing and all of that jazz, and did a lot of theater, and so, yeah.
No, absolutely. Don't mind me. I just realized I forgot to move my cat chair. I have an extra chair in my room, and my cat likes to adopt it.
Happen.
So my next question is, when you were in college, were you a study nerd or party animal?
Neither. I went to school and did my homework and went to work and paid my bills. I mean, I don't know. I've kind of always been an adult in that fashion. You do what you got to do, and never really. I mean, trust me, I'm a whole lot of fun, but I also needed to pay my bills and get good grades. That's why you go to school. So I don't know. Relatively, I guess in terms of college life, I was probably pretty boring, but oh well.
Yeah, people say I'm pretty boring too, so I guess we're in the same boat.
Well, the people don't say that anymore. I don't know. I'm pretty darn fantastic in making a good time out of the most boring of situations. Because otherwise, realistically, when you're an adult, your whole life is waiting. Massive portions of your life is just waiting. You go to the doctor's office, you wait. You go to the grocery store, you wait. Stop signs. So much waiting. So if you can't make light of even the most mundane situations, your whole life's going to be pretty dang boring.
No, I agree with you. Now, did he ever get the chance to do one of those human pyramids, or not into the whole human pyramid stuff?
I actually did. I have a twin sister, and she was captain of the cheerleading squad. So yeah, no, we human pyramided a little bit. We have some practice.
I love that stuff. I'm a loser.
No way. That's all good.
Hey, if you're ever up for it, maybe we can do something with your friends.
There you go. Just,
hey.
Not put the clumsy person on top, because that's how everyone gets hurt.
Never say never, right?
Oh, no, never do that. That's one of the nevers. You'll get hurt.
Now, my next question I was going to ask you is, who influenced you to become an actress? And, by the way, you're beautiful. So, did you ever think about becoming a model instead of an actress?
I've done some modeling just kind of here and there, but no offense, models, it's not challenging. You stand still, you look pretty. That's all you do. And maybe there's some things that are harder than others, but it takes no real effort. It's just kind of boring. If I want to, like, the reason acting is so fun is because you get to delve into this character that's probably nothing like you, or at the least it's challenging in some way, and you get to kind of figure them out and tell their story and bring them to life in this new way. You don't get to, it's playing pretend, and you get to do it as an adult. I mean, it's so cool. So yeah, I mean, I always wanted to be an actor, even when I was a little kid. I did a lot of theater. I was just always the crazy story making up kind of person. Anytime I'd go over to a friend's house, my sisters would be bored to tears because I was the one who made up all the games and all those things. It's just, you're creative, and it's fun, and it's unique. And I actually, I had no intentions ever of being a model ever. It never even crossed my mind. What I wanted to do was be a singer and an actor. And everything else was a backup plan, so yeah. But God is good, and I get to live my childhood dream, so it's pretty awesome.
Now, the next subject I'm going to ask you is, I did mention this in the beginning about the pyramid stuff. If you had to do one again, how big, and what do you do, a small one or a big one? And
well, I think you go big or you go home. You got to take every single person in the room and just make it happen. But with the exception of one person, somebody does have to videotape and document the excursion. Otherwise, you have no proof, and maybe it didn't happen. So yeah, you gotta go big. Now, I feel like this is a personal challenge, and I need to go find a bunch of people to pyramid with me. So yeah, I might actually do that tomorrow. It might happen. Mm-hmm.
Hey, you help me, I help you. And you always need like a tripod too, so everyone's a part of it. So that's a tripod.
There you go. Yeah, just don't fall out of frame. Yep. Awesome.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, would you do a 10 person or 15 or bigger?
For what?
Like the pyramid.
Oh, no. You got to go big. I mean, you use with what you have. If you only have 5 people, you use 5. But if there's 25 people standing in the room, you make them all do it. Oh, yeah.
Now, a lot of people are talking on YouTube about being big fans of Dumbo and reenacting their Dumbo pyramid. Do you think that's realistic, or do you think that's an accident?
No, it's a terrible idea. Like, why would you? No, really bad idea. Don't do that. No.
Well, like the first 4 scenes in the movie you can do, but I don't know about the whole rest of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't a huge Dumbo fan. It's one of the few Disney movies that I was just like, that and Fantasia. I don't know. I just couldn't get in. All of the other ones, I'm pretty spot on, but not Dumbo or Fantasia.
What about Jumbo Book?
Oh yeah, Jumbo Books. That's a good one. Yeah, I could do that one. I actually, I watched Aladdin every day for a year when I was little because my mom had this really, really bad rule, like terrible rule. Whoever got up first got to control the TV. So yeah. I remember vividly waking myself up and being exhausted, but pulling myself out of bed so that I got to control what we watched. Terrible parenting idea. Parents, please don't do this. Terrible idea. But that's what I did. And so every day, my sisters would be like, well, what do we watch? I'm like, oh, it's a surprise. And then the purple smoke would go up, and they'd be like, no! And it was awesome. It was great. And then when I took French in high school, and we watched Aladdin in French, my teacher was actually super impressed because he thought I could translate all the words. Nope, just had it memorized. It had nothing to do with knowing French. Nope.
Have you seen the comments they made about Aladdin? They say there's one where Aladdin and Jasmine are on the carpet. He's like, I can show you the world, except for America.
That's awful. That's terrible. And that's not necessarily true. There are just rules. We have rules in a society, and that's okay. We got to play by the rules.
That's true. And the next thing I'm going to ask you is, do you like being the main star, or do you like being the lead star? I mean, supporting star.
I mean, it really depends on what the story is. I mean, of course, no one's going to say they don't want the leading part, because usually the leading part has all the guts. It's got all the good dynamic and stuff to it. But I've actually played some really good little small parts that were just great. They had such good stuff to them, and not very often that I get to be really, really snarky on film. And there's one film in particular where I got to be just really rude and really mean. And it was really fun. So had I played the lead part, I probably wouldn't have gotten to be so rude and snarky and have so much fun. Because I'm not mean and snarky in real life. I mean, I'm a little sarcastic, but who isn't? But, it was fun. It's kind of fun to be somebody completely different. So, I don't know. Depends on the role.
Now, my last question is, and then we're going to take a quick commercial break, is what are some of your favorite TV shows, and which ones would you like to be a part of?
Oh, man. That's a good question. Okay, so right now my favorite TV show is probably MacGyver. Yeah, Lucas Till is fantastic, and I love the banter. Oh, it's so great. That's current. My all-time favorite TV show is definitely Psych, and I tell you what, I had a moment when I found out that Psych, the musical, was going to be a thing. Like, I quote Psych in my daily life at least once a day. Like, it's just so good. It's so witty, and the conversation is just awesome. If you haven't seen it, you must immediately go to your video store because it's not on Netflix, which, by the way, we should start a petition and get it back on Netflix. But it's amazing. It's just so good. It's so witty. The Sean and Gus banter. It's fantastic. Yeah, that's definitely, I would have loved to be a part of the musical. Or not the musical, their movie. They did a musical, and that was good too, but yeah. Psych is great. And that's why I like MacGyver too. It's very witty, the banter. I like the dramedy. Everything doesn't have to be so heavy all the time. It can be funny.
Yeah, I agree with you. I liked, it was funny in the beginning, but then it got stupid funny towards the end. But yeah. I liked the one part, I don't know where they were or what was happening, but actually two scenes come to mind. The guy from Rocky was there, so they were doing a case, and he goes ding, ding, and the guy from Rocky just stares at him.
Oh, I can't remember that one.
I'm bad with names. But yeah, you may like this one more. There's a part where they had a lemur on the show. So the lemur had a big eye with big eyes and was staring at Gus. So Gus is like this.
I remember that one. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I also like the one where, Earth, Wind, and Fire is is the episode name. And it's about, there's like an arson case or whatnot, but the whole, like they found a body in the wall or whatnot, and half the episode is spent with Sean and Gus trying to figure out what to call him. An arsonurderer, or, like trying to figure out the name because it's arsonist and a murderer, and and so they finally landed on Señor Patalona de Fuegos, and it was fantastic. I think we rewind that part like 6 times. It's just hilarious, but I don't know.
My favorite scene has to be last time I saw it, besides the lemur, it's where they went on like an exploring trip. It's like, by the way, I have my camera, and like an eagle comes down and swoops in and takes it away. It's, oh, come on.
Yeah, that was like the Bigfoot episode. Yeah, that's a good one. They're all good. There's only a couple that I'm like, yeah, like the Exorcist one. No, don't want to watch that one. And the one they did that they were trying to like, it was in the very last season. It was the one where Sean's trying to tell Gus he's moving to San Francisco to be with Jules. And it's like this Walking Dead episode, and I'm like, no, I don't like it. But so those are really the only 2 I won't watch. But the other ones that we watch on like repeat, we're crazy.
What about, are you a fan of Rescue Me, Suits?
Suits is great, love Suits, and Dule Hill is now on Suits, so it's like Psych on Suits. But I haven't heard of the other one, but Suits is a great one. That's a fantastic show.
What about well, it was a good show until the 2 people left. Hawaii Five-0?
No, I've never. The only reason I actually watched that show once, because it was a crossover with MacGyver. But no, and it's one of those that I think would probably be good if I got into it. I just never did. I'm kind of, like, I have so many shows I watch that I have to, like, be mindful, because once I'm in. I'm going to finish it. Even if it turns into being, like, really crappy, I'm going to finish the series, because I'm a nutcase like that. But, like, Fringe kind of got like that. Fringe, the first few episodes, season, whatever, was like, ooh, this is good, and it's kind of, like, really heady, and then, like, the further in it got, it was like, this is just weird, but I was committed, so I was like, I gotta finish it. So, yeah, I haven't ever watched Hawaii Five-0. That's a good one, though. I could imagine.
The last 2...
Very similar.
Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
The last two I was going to mention, then we're going to take a break, is Blue Bloods, and what was going to mention the last one, but I just forgot what it was. But Blue Bloods is really good.
I haven't watched that. It's on my Netflix queue because a million people have told me to watch it, but I have not watched that one. But
hey, when you have time, you should catch up on it.
That's right. That's right.
Now we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I'm going to pass the show over to you.
Sounds good.
A video message for yourself or as a gift for someone else. For personal connections, shoutouts, birthdays, proposals, weddings, and much more. Enter your details about yourself so the celebrity can record a personal video message, especially for you, including details such as your name, age, birthday, hobbies, or whatever else you include. As soon as the video has been recorded, you'll get an email with your link so you can share it on social media or download and keep it. Celebrities record videos as and when they can, usually within 2 weeks. But if you want a video for a specific date and it does not look like it will arrive in time, you can cancel it and get an instant refund at the click of a button. There are hundreds of celebrities to choose from and many more joining every day. Search by category or genre, buy a gift voucher, get updates and offers, and encourage your favorite celebrities to join so they can connect with fans in a fun and unique way. Raise money for their charities and much more. So order your video now for yourself or for someone else.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 371. I'm here with beautiful and talented Meggie Jenny, and I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show once again.
Thank you.
Now, I'm going to pass the show over to you. Was there anything you wanted to know, anything you wanted to talk about? This is your time after all. I'd like to get you fired up.
I'm fired. All right. How did you start doing this talk show? Or why did you start doing a talk show?
Well, basically, for the longest time, I was learning. Don't mind me, when I don't do my interviews as a way, it kind of shows more. Basically,
it's all good.
Basically, the whole point of my show I came up with is I was using my disability as a crutch. I can't go to college, I can't drive, I can't do this, I can't do that. I was like, screw it. I'm going to show you with a disability, I can still amount to something. Mm-hmm. And I just got tired of the same conversations that I have with my family. I'll go talk to this person, talk to that person, and everything. And I always said, what about me? And they're like, well, what about you? And they're like, well, you're not educated. 2, you're not qualified to do any jobs. You can't go to college. You can't hold down a job. And you're end up gonna be like a burden or go in a group home or something for the rest of your life. So I made up my mind and said, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to show you with a learning disability, I can still amount to something. That a weakness doesn't have to be a crutch. That I don't have to be a burden or be in a group home or whatever things you want to say. So I'm using this as a motivation for myself to say, yes, it's true. I do have poor people skills, as you picked up. I have poor people skills, a hard time holding down a job. But basically, all this is a learning experience, and it's your opportunity to turn a weakness into a strength. Mm-hmm. And the long story short, I just got tired of sitting on my sound like Porky Pig. I just got tired of sitting on my ass and watching everything go past. I wasn't going anywhere. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to show you. You can call me whatever you want, but that's not going to label me for the rest of my life. Yep. So like my catchphrase, #break the labels. You can label me whatever you want, but I'm going to throw it right back at you and say, I'm going to prove you wrong. Yep. So I started my talk show back in 2013. Long story short, I was working in retail in 2007. Mm-hmm. I got sick. Basically, the girl flirted with me. I used to use for an example. Keith, you can tell me anything you want. We're buddies, blah, 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 blah. You would go back and say, Keith is stalking me. Keith is doing this. Keith is doing that. And every day I would get yelled at, and make a long story short. And I basically took me a whole year to recover from my panic attacks. I had panic attacks, social anxiety growing up. This really brought it out to the point I was sick. Took me a year to recover. So from '09, I went to West Point. I got the chance to be a custodian. Now certified to work anywhere in New York State. Let's see. I was unemployed from late '09 to until Hurricane Sandy. And after Hurricane Sandy, I was like, you know what? I have a disability. Might as well use that as a strength instead of a weakness. So I got off my ass and said, you know what? I'm going to create my talk show. Don't ask me why. It seemed like a good idea at the time. But I did 72 phone interviews. And two reasons why I did it over. First one is, don't mind the trucks in the background. They're going to drown me out. Okay, now it's gone. So basically, when I was doing my phone interviews, I'm not really a big fan of talking on the phone. Because I feel like I'm talking to myself. I like this. You get to see who you're talking to. So besides not being able to see who you're talking to, I was still having panic attacks. I was still having anxiety. And it's like, this is therapy for myself. Making new friends while helping me on my social skills. And I said, this is not working. And the other guy says, you had this great format. Why aren't you as big or bigger than you portray yourself to be? Why don't you have sponsors? Why don't you have people helping you? And I said, that's great. Would you like to help me with it? And he said, no, if you can't do it yourself, then it's not meant to be. So I hung up and said, yeah, thanks a lot, asshole. Didn't say it to him, but that's what I was thinking. And I did it over. And one guy said to me, do it over, try a different format. So I took everything down. Now, thanks to you, we're back up to 371. My first mistake was I was taking people at their word. If you really want to think about it, I did over 600 interviews. But the problem was I was taking people at their word. Say, okay, you don't have to sign a permission form. We're just do it. And little by little, they're saying, yeah, my agent said, my publicist said, you're degrading, you ask a lot of stupid questions, we don't want to be seen as people like you, you're hurting my image, I thought you were... No, go ahead.
It's harsh. It's really harsh.
They said, I thought you were a charity case, and I thought this was going to be good PR for myself, but it's not. And I was like, screw it. Once I got up to 300, they're like, can you take down my interview? Can you hide it? And it's like, well, I can edit it if you said something stupid, or if I said something stupid, I can edit it. Instead of saying, yeah, can you edit it? It's like, take it down and I'll sue you. So I said, screw it. Took all 300 down. I went through it. I had to swallow 100. So I got lucky enough I got up to 2. So when I got up to 3 again, it's like, hey, your permission form. I tell you who I am, what the show's about, and you agree to let me interview you. So there's no weaseling your way out of it, saying, oh, well, you weren't up front with it. No, permission form, tell you what it's about, you sign it, you got to stand by it. And that's, if you really want to look at it, I did over 600 interviews, but those 300 really don't count because I had a from away. So I'm back up to 371 thanks to you. And I'm just showing people it's a disability. Labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. And you should prove to people, yes, I am more than disabled, handicapped, people say retarded, but look at what I'm able to accomplish. You're turning a negative into a positive. And you're not going to please everyone that you come across, family or friends. You're not going to please everyone. And it's not your job to really please everyone.
Nope.
What was it? If you try to please everyone, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Well, and you can't be a God pleaser and a people pleaser because no two people are the same, and God's love for you is perfect. So aim to be a God pleaser. You'll never go wrong.
No, absolutely. Now, with that being said, I'm going to pass the show over to you. Was there anything you wanted to know, anything you wanted to talk about?
My main question was kind of like, why behind it, What did you want to do, or what was your purpose? And, you explained that perfectly. I will say, I actually just very recently, a friend and I were talking, she's going through some psychology courses and things like that, and something that she said stuck out to me, and it might help you, is that a weakness is actually a strength that's overused. And that sounds strange, because I had one of those looks whenever she said it. But let me explain a little bit. So, like, for instance, someone who's very social, they like going out and doing things, they like being around people. If somebody goes, okay, awesome, well, I have this going on tonight. Would you mind if could you watch the kids? Oh, yeah, sure, drop them over. And then, somebody else, hey, can you, and then you end up with like 15 kids at your house because you're trying to help everyone and you can't say no. It's a weakness, but it's really a strength that's just being overused. So, same being said, all of those things people can say and label and all of those things, these bad points, I don't find you socially awkward. But if that's a specific point of that, it's just the social aspect that's being overused. You're social. You like being around people. You like talking with people. But the weakness isn't a weakness. It's one of your strengths overused. So I don't know. It was totally one of those what moments whenever it was explained to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so clever. I need to stop using all my strengths. But yeah, no, I think it's a fantastic idea. I think it's a great outlet. Thank you, Jesus. We live in a time where we can do things like this and put them on YouTube and all of those things and talk with people that are, quite a distance away from us. It's not like you and I live a stone's throw away. So, it's an interesting time we live in. I think it's fantastic because it creates so many more opportunities. And, I think it's awesome you're taking advantage of it and kind of flipping the script. It's great.
Oh, absolutely. I do have a couple questions for you off the air.
Yeah.
Wrapping up, passing the show back to you. My final question. Actually, before I ask the final question, how can people follow you on social media? Are you on Twitter, Instagram?
Yeah. I am. Twitter and Instagram, it's just at Meggie Jenny. So MEGGIEJENNY. I am on Facebook. My fan page on Facebook is facebook.com/Meggie Jenny. I'm on, I have an IMBD page for those people who like looking up actors. It just sprinkled about. But all these things are great, and all of these things are fantastic outlets. I try to be fairly responsible with posting fairly regularly, but then sometimes life just catches up on me, and I have a bunch of mom responsibilities and just life responsibilities. So forgive me if it seems like I'm not posting too terribly often. I try my best. Some days are better than others. But yes, you can follow me there, and I do like to post ridiculous things as well. In case you haven't noticed, I'm a little bit of a fan of the shenanigans and tomfoolery. So not all of my posts are super serious. So it's kind of like this, but just in social media form. But yeah, so you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I am on Snapchat as well. I think it's Meggie.Jenny on Snapchat. But yeah, so those things.
Are you also on LinkedIn Stage 32?
No. What is that?
Well, LinkedIn, it's a professional website.
Oh, LinkedIn. Yes. I am. Oh gosh, I'm terrible. I don't ever update that thing. I just get email requests saying somebody wants to follow you, friend. I don't even know what it's called. I'm just terrible at it. Like, there's so many things to keep up with, and I'm just like, why can't we just make one thing, and we all do that? So much individuality. Ugh, it's the worst. Not really, but I do have a terrible time. I'm sorry. If you follow me on LinkedIn, I will probably not follow you back or friend you or whatever it is, because I don't use it. It's terrible. I don't. There's too many other things. Why are we having all of the social media? I don't get it. But anyway, yeah. I'm on there. I don't have no idea what my username is or what it says. It could be terrifying.
I use it sometimes, but I have 2 accounts, and they keep restricting it. It keeps asking me, let me ask you your honest opinion about this one. It's because I was using LinkedIn as in networking, so I would add random people, then try to network, and if it didn't work out, I would remove them. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, my accounts are kind of restricted. And now they're saying, we will only unhook your account if you take a picture for us of your license. And I kind
of get it. They're trying to make sure you're a real person and not a spam bot, because there are a lot of people like that. Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, did any other... It's kind of just social media, though. I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to keep it super profesh. I don't know. I don't use it. I don't know the policies.
Well, if someone said for you to use Facebook, you have to take a picture of your license, would you do it?
I mean, yeah, probably. There's nothing on my license that's... I mean, if it was a Facebook thing that was, sent to... I'd have to, super research it and make sure it wasn't some creeper trying to steal my stuff. But then again, my driver's license doesn't even have my actual address on it. I never changed it. I know I'm driving illegally. Don't arrest me. But I guess I'm not driving illegally. I'm driving with incorrect information. So all they'd get would be my height, weight, and eye color, which you can find on my IMBD page. So, yeah. Sure would it. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, you're good.
My last question I was going to ask you, I have a couple questions for you. I tell you, it's one of those days. Don't worry, I'm not having a stroke or anything.
Yeah, don't do that, please, because it's too bad.
Try to have fun with everyone. Do have a couple questions for you off the air, but when I first approached you to be a guest on my talk show, what was your first reaction? And after doing the interview, how do you feel now?
Okay, my first reaction was, I need to find out about this dude, make sure he's a real person. But no, I mean, I thought it would be great. It'd be fun. So, and it was great. And it was fun. So, yeah, it was all good.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I know I do have a couple questions for you off the air, but wrapping up, it was a real honor and privilege to have you as a guest on my show, and I'm looking forward to part 2 and building a friendship with you as well.
Sounds good. Thank you.